Here are all the iPhones that I currently have, and I'm going to share them with you here in this video. Coming up right now, let's go. What is up, guys? Nick here from Everything Tech, helping to master your technology. And can you name all of these iPhones on the table before we even get rolling here in this video? Quick, pause the video and try to name them all before we continue. All right, we're back. So here are all my iPhones, and I haven't really shared with you guys all my phones before. It's not really necessary, but the reason why I'm sharing them with you here is because I want to be totally honest with you guys. I want you guys to know which phones we have here on the channel, because these are my phones, but these are your phones as well, because this is your channel, this is my channel, your channel, it's our channel. We're a community here, and the content you want to see can come out of these phones that you see here on this table. Now, you have seen a ton of content on a lot of them already, but like I say, I don't make this video here to show off, just to be like, look at me, I'm better than you, I have more iPhones than you. That's not the reason I make this video. I make this video for you to see something on here and be like, look, Nick, you got the 3GS, I need to know how to do something with that. Or look, Nick, you have the 5S, I need to know how to do something with that. That's why I'm making this video here. So let's get started. Let's just talk about a little bit about them. So I do got the 3GS. I actually just picked up the iPhone 3GS a little while ago. It does run iOS 6, so it does run the oldest version of iOS I do have on this table. And I actually like iOS 6. I think it's pretty clean, pretty classy. Yeah, it's a retro looking now, but man, did it run good for its time. You can see even a 3GS these days still runs pretty well here. Yeah, it takes a second to load stuff, but I've seen slower Androids than this. Now, I'm not knocking Android. Android has come a long way, but back in the days of the 3GS, Android was actually not that good back in them days. So yeah, I got the 3GS, and I do have the original box for the 3GS as well. And I don't have all the boxes for these iPhones because I don't buy all of these iPhones new. I buy them refurbished. I buy some of them used. And you can see right here, I do have the 5S box as well. This was the Black Friday unboxing that we did of the iPhone 5S right before Black Friday or Thanksgiving, somewhere around there. So we did that one. Funny thing is this video is actually being shot on a Samsung Galaxy Note 5. That's funny, right? We're shooting a video all about iPhones on a Samsung phone. But a lot of people who just love phones in general probably love Samsung phones as well. So I got the iPhone 5 here. You've seen this plenty of times with its broken power button. I always have that triple click thing here on the channel where I got to go like that. And it says you've been signed in about 17 iPhones. I'm actually on 1% battery life, so this baby's about to die here. But this does run the latest version of iOS 10.2.1. So you can get the latest and greatest here for the iPhone 5, which is crazy because this phone came out way back in 2011, I think it was. So very old phone here on the 5, but it still works well. This might have been actually 2012, to be honest. I think it was 2012. So I might have been wrong there. So I'm just power that one off because it's about to die anyway. So that's the iPhone 5. Got that one. I actually have two 5S's here. One's cracked all to shit. That's why I don't really use this one anymore. You've never seen this on the channel because, I mean, why am I going to go make a review on a phone that's all cracked up like that? So yeah, this one's broke all the crap. I could probably go get this fixed, but I don't really think it's worth it. I just picked up one of those $99 iPhone 5S's on Black Friday. And yeah, this one, it does power on. I don't think I have any battery life in it right now, but it will power on. It's not charged up, but it will power on. But what's funny is I got a newer 5S, and if you look closely, this one's a little bit lighter on the right. This one was an earlier model 5S, like right around the time it first came out. And I think they like darkened it or something, because if you can see, this is definitely a lighter color here in the space gray than on that one over there. It's a little bit darker here over here. So yeah, 5S there, another 5S, obviously. This is the one that we see all the time on the channel when I do versus comparisons. And actually there will be more content with the 5S coming up on iOS 10.3, as well as all these iPhones that, run the latest and greatest. So yeah, iPhone 5S came out in 2013, 8 megapixel camera, cool stuff there. A lot of people love this phone, and this phone has been very popular on the channel. And I don't really know too much why everyone really loves the iPhone 5S. Can you guys let me know your reasons why you love the 5S so much? I personally think once you upgrade to a newer iPhone, you'll totally not want to go back to a 5S, but that's my personal take. So let me put this over here. And let's see. Oh, I also got the 4S. We've seen the 4S on the channel. I said it was dead, and I brought it back for a resurrection versus the iPhone 7 Plus over here. The 4S I have here runs iOS. The latest it got was iOS 9.3.5, and it runs absolutely horrendous. It's very slow here on iOS 9.3.5. Doesn't run great at all, but the 4S is still, you know, got a nice body. It's still pretty durable. I really love the classic design. This might have been my favorite iPhone design ever, the 4S. The aluminum around the side was so durable. The glass on the front and back, yeah, that cracked easily, but you can just, you know, you can just go ahead and unscrew these Torx screws at the bottom, pull the back off, and just slide a new piece of glass on there. So this phone was really nice, really enjoyed this, the iPhone 4S. I had two 4Ss, got rid of one, had a white one, but now I have this one. But I don't have the iPhone 4. So yeah, I don't got the 4. So over here is the iPhone SE, and probably one of my favorite iPhones right now. It's like the secret beast of the iPhone SE. Not everybody knows too much about this phone because they're all obsessed with the bigger iPhones. But this is a sleeper in the Apple lineup right now. The SE is a very powerful little phone. And if you're looking for a portable beast, the iPhone SE is it. It's where it's at. And they're rumored to be bringing, you know, iPhone SE with 128 gigabytes, as well as probably an updated processor or maybe some new colors. So we'll have to see what happens there with Apple's later in the month March event, if they do have a March event. I haven't heard nothing yet on that though, but I would expect slight upgrades to the SE. This has been a very good seller for Apple, but they don't really want to cannibalize their other parts of their lineup, the iPhone 7 and 6S, with the smaller, cheaper phone. And yeah, so that's the iPhone SE. Over here, I got the iPhone 6 as well. The iPhone 6. This is actually my least favorite of all my phones, all my iPhones right here. And I can tell you why. I just think that it's a very slippery phone. It's a little bit too thin, and it doesn't feel very well built. There's like a little gap between the screen and the body here. I've talked about this before. I don't know if you hear that. It just sounds kind of cheap. It feels a little bit cheap. It's not a cheap phone. Like, I don't feel like this is a cheap phone, but I think the iPhone 6 had probably the worst build quality of most of these iPhones here. Worse than the SE, worse than the 4S, and probably not worse than the 3GS. It was better than the 3GS build quality. But then again, you could argue not really, because the 3GS was a little durable plastic phone. A lot of people say that little chubby 3GS, and it did get a crack on the back, and mine has a crack right there. It's like a common issue with the 3GS. So let's move on to the big boys, the iPhone 6s Plus. So I did have the iPhone 6s Plus as my daily driver until I moved up to the 7 Plus, and I absolutely love the 6s Plus. And it's a great smartphone, and I don't see myself using it too much anymore, but when I get the need for a headphone jack, I do pop my SIM card back in the iPhone 6s Plus. Great smartphone here, great speed, great screen, great camera. This phone is still very relevant today. The iPhone 6s Plus is actually half the cost of a 7 Plus, and I would recommend go with the 6s Plus over the 7 Plus if you don't need the latest and greatest. There's not that many improvements on the 7 Plus, but there was enough for me to want to get the 7 Plus. Now, my 7 Plus is in the Apple red leather case. I think this is a knockoff case from China or something like that, but it works fine for me. And it's the big boy. This is the final one I got here. The latest one I got is the 7 Plus here. And you can see it's got that jet black finish. That's why I have it in a case here. And this was the most expensive iPhone I've ever bought. But that's okay because, you know, I feel like I get my money out of the iPhone. It's not like it's a big problem that they're charging a lot. Yeah, they charge a lot because they are, you know, Apple. They can do that, and that's fine. You know, if you guys want the best of the best, you got to pay to play. That's just the way it goes around these parts. And yeah, so you might be saying, like, where's the 7? The 7 that you've seen on the channel, I bought the 7 originally, but I didn't like it because it was too small for me back then, that silver one you've seen on the channel. And I went ahead and took it back to Apple, and I just stuck with the 6s Plus for a while. And then that 7 you've seen last week, that's actually my guy's phone. He lets me use it for some videos, and he's gonna let me use it again so we can do some more verses between his 7 and my 7 Plus. So just being honest with you there, that one's not mine. And but these right here are all my iPhones. Now, if you've seen any phones in this video that you're like, man, Nick, you got them phones, but like, why don't you do this video or you do this video with those phones? Suggest them down below. Really like to know what you guys want to see going forward here. I already have tons of content going forward here on all these iPhones, and 10.3 is coming out. And you might be thinking like, Nick, well, if you got all those iPhones, why don't you do a beta on one of them so we can see 10.3 beta? Let me know what you think about that over there, or 10.4, whatever betas come out in the future. And not really too much into jailbreaking. That's too time consuming for me. You know, I really do not really want to be doing jailbreaking all the time, but you know, that's just what I feel like. And guys, I do have other phones here on the channel. So if you guys want to see a similar video with the iPhone or with the Androids, or maybe just put these phones back in another video and see all of my phones, drop that down below. I got about the same amount of a collection for Android as I do here for Apple. So it's not just Apple. And I also got some dumb phones too. You know, them flip phones, them Nokia phones. I got some of those too. So yeah, drop your comments down below what you thought of this video. Like I said, this is not to show off. This is just to show you what I have, to get more clear with you, to get more honest, so you know these phones. Now, if you're asking me, Nick, where did you get those phones? I've bought all of these phones. I paid for all of these phones. Now, you might be thinking, well, how did you get all them phones? It takes a while, you know. When I first started the channel, you would have seen I had cheaper phones, and I've been growing the channel. And, you know, everything that we earn from the channel goes right back into the channel, as you can see right here. This is all for you guys, so we can make some great content. So go ahead and drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed this one, click the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel for more technology videos like this. Nick here. Have a great day. Be sure to be well, and peace.